Well, good morning, Stats. On this wonderful morning, Friday, the 26th of January at 10:30, approximately. Say hello, Stats.
Morning. How are we this morning? It's nice and sunny, isn't it?
It is. I'm not feeling too good, you know. I've got a bit of a cold.
Yeah. Oh, well, if you're looking for sympathy, you've come to the wrong place.
Don't make me laugh. Don't make me cough. It's bad news. Anyway, I thought I'd just have a quick word with you about a story that came out from the BBC about 9 hours ago, and I haven't seen it anywhere else. And that is the Post Office plan to sack Horizon IT reviewer kept secret. Documents reveal. Now, this is going to form part of our Thought of the Day series that we're going to be putting out on TikTok, what have you. Now, just as a quick brief, documents showing the Post Office top bosses secretly decided in April 2014 to sack forensic accountants who had found bugs in their IT system have been obtained by the BBC. That's the opener, sir.
It's not looking good, is it?
Not as far as I can see. I mean,
well, for some people.
The BBC did this. What they're actually saying is, you know, as a quick summary, is that in 2014, they knew from second sight, I'm talking about the Post Office, they knew that the system was flawed.
Correct.
And that the convictions that they were going for against, I keep on calling them postmasters and postmistresses, they're sub postmasters.
Yeah.
They were unsafe. But they still knew that and carried on.
They did.
So, second sight were the people who were brought in to investigate. Do you want to take it from there?
Yeah, well, I'm just going to go straight to the clincher, really. There was a committee from the Post Office, and that included, I think, the Paula Reynolds, and who else was it? Well, quite a few people, actually. Project Sparrow is what they call this.
Wow.
And apparently this decision had full knowledge of the government. So it was 9 months before the committee met. Second Sight, who you just mentioned, who were looking into the bugs in the computer system, submitted a report on the 8th of July 2013, identifying computer bugs that raised doubts over the reliability of Horizon data. And that was the data used to prosecute the Sub Postmasters. Shockingly enough, a week later, on the 15th of July, the Post Office was warned in formal advance, written by its own lawyer, Simon Clark, that it was in breach of its legal duties because these sub-postmasters who've been prosecuted should have been told about the bugs.
Yeah.
I think that just about clinches it, doesn't it?
Well, for me, I mean, also, the questions that I have, I mean, Project Sparrow, what does that mean? What was the thinking behind that?
It's a bit shady, doesn't it?
Oh, completely. Okay. The Post Office bosses during that time kept on insisting that the systems were robust, even though they were given information to cast doubt on that. Go ahead, Mark.
It says here that the documents reveal the secret plan to sack Second Sight. And that's been recorded in minutes at the Project Sparrow meeting in April 2014.
Well, I just want to pass a comment here to our American listeners. If you thought that the Biden administration was corrupt, have a look at what's going on in a government system in where the government are the only shareholder in the Post Office. And everybody is saying, I didn't see anything. I didn't hear anything. And it's just pure lies and it's coming out. Now, let's just get down to the crux of it, of who these people were on Project Sparrow. It was the Post Office chair, Alice Perkins, and it included the executive Paula Reynolds, along with the Post Office's most senior internal lawyer, General Counsel Chris Ojard, and Richard Callard. Now, this is an interesting one.
It is.
He was a senior civil servant at the UK Government Investments, which at that time was a division of the Department for Business, Energy and Industry Strategy. Now, I want to know more about Richard Callard, and I want to know which MPs he spoke to, because I believe somewhere in the story that they actually say that the decision about what was going on was to be kept secret from Parliament and the public. Now, that doesn't sound good to me. I mean, Alan Bates had already turned around and said, and he was the representative of the Sub Postmasters. He said it was a cover-up from the start to the finish. Now, why did they, all of a sudden it's coming out? What do you think should happen with this information?
I think this should go to court. These people need to be charged legally. I mean, trying to find out which minister was responsible for this. Now, everyone was saying Ed Davey at first, but now the report says that it was then a division of the Department for Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy. Yeah. I don't think that was actually created until 2017 by Theresa May. But this says 2014, so I've gone back and looked. And Ed Davey was actually Secretary for State of Energy and Climate. And now these departments change names and the roles change names, but it was actually Vince Cable was Business, Innovation and Skills. So who was responsible for this?
Everybody's scattering.
Well, this might be why Vince Cable's been on the likes of Talk TV and stuff over the last few weeks, getting the excuses in there, trying to say, we did mention this on the main podcast, didn't we?
Yeah.
It's, don't just blame one person, it was a collective error. Well, I don't think so. So we were asking for accountability, weren't we? We were saying who and when. Well, now we've got the when and we've got the who, the post office bosses, civil servants, these ministers, and apparently some MPs. So
I want to know which MPs knew about it.
It might be these two, or at least one of them.
Well,
which is why they're out doing damage limitation, John, before this came out. They must think we were born yesterday,
Yeah. Well, on the 15th of July, 2013, the post office had formal advice by its own lawyer, Simon Clark, that it was in breach of its legal duties because Sub Postmasters, who had already been prosecuted, should have been told about the bugs in the system. That would have aided their defence. And on the 16th of July, the Post Office Board expressed concern that Second Sight, who were the people investigating independently, they were worried that their review exposed the business to claims of wrongful convictions. What? Wrongful convictions? But the minutes from April 2014 show Paula Venables, Alice Perkins, and the other members discussed closing or speeding up the mediation scheme and planning to pay minimal compensation to Sub Postmasters. Anybody that thinks that those people are nice people and shouldn't be investigated criminally are idiots.
It's shocking. A total of only 1 million in token payments of compensation.
And it's predicted now to go over 1 billion.
See, this is all planned. It's a scheme. So if we give them too much money, they're going to be able to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Let's give them a pittance between them all. And there's no way they're going to. Yeah. That's exactly what's happened.
Okay.
So you've also got lawyers, senior lawyers here from the post office.
Yep.
Sorry, the
Linklaters.
Linklaters, that's it. So now we know exactly who they all were. Right, it's time for people to pay for this now. Yep. No messing around.
Accountability, liability.
Lessons learned, rubbish. Yeah. The only lessons are going to be learned is when
go for them.
People are severely punished.
Yeah. I suggest nothing less than prison.
Yeah, for quite a while, I'd say.
Well,
and that's being kind to them, mate. They've destroyed people's lives, and one of those people's local to us.
Yep.
It's disgusting.
Who committed suicide.
Yeah.
In March 2015, Second Sight's contract was terminated, and the Post Office brought investigation of the Sub Postmasters cases in-house. They were marking their own homework.
Don't they always?
Perkins and Venables didn't respond to requests from comment from the BBC. Linklaters did not comment. Chris Orjard, the solicitor, and Richard Callard, the government man, said that through public relations advisors, who the do they think they are? No? They would not comment while the inquiry was ongoing. And a representative of the government at UK Government Investments declined to comment. These people are absolute scum.
They are scum of the earth.
Scum of the earth. And now, if the police do not go in and arrest some of these people and give them a criminal prosecution, because remember now, they all contributed to the lies. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Whether knowingly or unknowingly, they all contributed to the lies, and they should be accountable, as far as I'm concerned.
Definitely.
And you, sir?
Big scam. This is going to be one of the worst cover-ups. I mean, withholding vital evidence as well.
Yep.
This is just another example of a corrupt, failed system. We've got to drain this swamp.
Oh, that's it.
I'm not optimistic about a good outcome because they're all in this together. But you're right, the police have got to come in now and come in hard. Yeah. This is shocking.
If we've got any police left.
Again, why has it took this long to come up with to find out all this?
Oh, because they keep on hiding and hiding and hiding.
Well,
using every excuse to delay. Sick and tired. Civil servants, they have got an awful lot to answer for, and I want to know what that Callard knew. And I want to know who he was speaking to and minutes of any meetings. I want total transparency from that government man. All right, sir. Well, there you go.
Well, I'll leave it on this note. If the public think this is the only thing that they're covering up.
Yeah, well, there's just a ton of it.
Mistaken. There's going to be so much of this going on.
Oh, there's a ton of it, and it needs to be brought out. All right, sir.
Expose these rats, bring them out in the open.
Rats?
Yes.
They're not. I think that's a compliment to them.
It's harsh.
They're less than vermin. Less than vermin. Well, okay, here we go, sir. Thank you very much for your comments and what was going on there. And we will end that commentary for Friday. There we go.
Farewell to our lovely listeners.
Indeed. Or listener. You don't know.
I'll bribe a couple more over the weekend.
Right. Bribe?
Yeah.
I think the Raven might have an investigation into you.
We can do. Nothing comes close to this one. Gee whiz.